Hello and welcome back to Let's Get Digital. This is your host, Megan Nager, and today I want to just briefly speak on the importance of social media branding. So if you have a social media yourself and say you just post on your personal social media for fun, or you have like a personal brand, you're going to know what I'm talking about. And even if you're a business and you haven't been posting on social media, you're going to probably be familiar with what I'm talking about. But basically, I want to emphasize the importance of branding your social media. And I'm talking about this because we come across a lot of clients and even current clients we work with that it's hard for people to understand the importance of posting high quality branded content on their social media and not just like throwing up a Canva template. So people today, and I'm mainly talking about younger generations, they look at social media to get like a view of the business. Like if I'm looking up a med spa or a restaurant, like one of the first things I do, I'll look for them online, I'll glance at their website, but then I immediately go and look at their Instagram. So what I run into a lot, and what even clients tell us they were doing in the past before we came in, is that a lot of businesses will just like not really optimize their social media. And what I mean by that is that they'll think like it'll have the same effect if you just go on Canva, for instance, like quickly make a little template and then post that on social media with like text. And I'll see it with like restaurants. They'll just post like items of the day. And then you just see this like text post. Even if you're running a sale, say like 50% off today, or they'll do like a happy Veterans Day. Once in a while, posts like that are okay, but at the end of the day, you really wanna pay close attention to your social media branding. Because like I said, for me personally, after I go and look at someone's website, and sometimes even before, I'll go and look at their social media. So this really applies with restaurants. We have a few restaurant clients, and basically what happens is I'll go on their social media, for instance, their Instagram. It's mainly on Instagram that I'm talking about. And I'll see, like I said earlier, just these Canva templates or like a fuzzy photo of food in the background, or one of their team members like kind of like half smiling. And it just seems like it's not very well thought out. And I understand it's so much easier to do than sitting there and like painstakingly making videos and, especially if you don't have the budget for marketing. But even if you don't have the budget, I just want to emphasize the importance of really paying attention to the content that you are posting. Because when you do stuff like you just post these Canva templates, or you go and you take one of those like kind of half-assed pictures, it's not having the same effect, and you're actually drawing people away from your brand or business. Like if I go on a restaurant's Instagram and I see a really high quality video, or even like a cool video made on an iPhone of like, the restaurant, for instance, if it's a pizza place, like making a pizza and then showing garlic rolls and like, a Caesar salad or cool drinks, like that has such a bigger effect, a more positive effect than if you just go on and you just see these random text-based post or a crappy picture. So whether you have the budget or not, I just want to emphasize the importance of really paying attention to what you are posting on social media and how you want your brand or business to come across. And primarily the industries I see it all the time across a bunch of different industries, but we've run into it a lot with restaurants and with med spas, because med spas will have these epic services they offer or procedures, and they'll just post like, again, like just not a super well thought out photo or like a kind of crappy, like shaky BTS video. And this isn't me knocking on anyone, because if you're running a business, you're not supposed to be an excellent marketer. So, it's hard to sit there and create epic videos when that's not really your specialty. But you're losing out on opportunities that you otherwise would be able to attract new customers with. So again, if you have no budget, try to, even if there's someone in your business who is maybe like, a Gen Zer or a millennial who's like more tech savvy and more social media savvy, if you can have them sit there and make sure they're focusing on the branding, making sure that if they are doing videos, even with their iPhone, that those videos have a similar feel and vibe. If you're taking pictures, making sure the lighting is correct. You want lighting in front of you. You don't want it behind you because then you look dark. If you're taking food pictures, you want to make sure definitely that the lighting's good. Same with drinks, that the drink is, or the food is actually like looks good. A lot of times on restaurants, I'll just see, for instance, let's go back to pizza, but I'll just be like, that pizza like actually looks really unappetizing. Like there's this epic pizza place near us this world famous pizza place. And I was so excited. We ended up eating there anyways, but I was so excited. I was like, ooh, let me look at their Instagram and check it out. And like I go on their Instagram and I'm like, this makes me not want to go to the restaurant because the pizza doesn't look that good. And it's not because the pizza isn't good. Their pizza is amazing, but it's the way they're presenting it to the world. So ideally you could hire marketers. We're always here, even if you just want to like chat or get some feedback or strategy and you don't have the budget to like actually pay someone to make content. But like if you do have that, that's great because you can work with a marketer who's also a brand strategist. You want to make sure that your branding is similar across all platforms, that if you are using text, that it's the same font throughout everything. If you are using certain colors, it's usually the same colors. I'm not saying all like the food items need to be the same colors, but if you are going to do anything with like text or fonts or like different templates, which I don't love, you want to make sure they match, because that's another thing we'll see a lot are if people or clients are posting these graphics, like none of them match. So it looks like one's for this brand, one's for this other brand. And like I'll go on these Instagram accounts and it's just kind of like a shit show. And again, you want to attract clients, I'm assuming, unless you're so overwhelmed with business that you don't need to, which like that's epic and good for you. But I'm assuming most people want more business. So if you can really hone in on your social media, I know it's harder for older generations, not that they don't understand, a lot of them do, but some of them don't understand the value of really high quality social media posting, because it really is a game changer. Because if you do it consistently, you need to give yourself at least a few months. I mean, ideally, brand building can take years online, but if you keep doing it consistently, you don't need super fancy cameras or editing software, but if you do it consistently, you're going to attract a bigger customer base, 100%. I think I touched on this, but younger generations, they literally use, let's say like for instance, we'll go back to the restaurant example, they'll use an Instagram as a menu. Like I looked the other day at a restaurant in Miami that's really well known. The first thing I did was look at their Instagram, and their Instagram is epic. So I had already wanted to go there, but then when I see their Instagram, I'm like, oh, now I really want to go there. Another example, which we don't typically market hotels, but like that's another business where you really want to prioritize your social media branding. I was trying to choose between two hotels in the Keys, the Florida Keys, that I want to go on a vacation. And one, they really looked similar, to be honest. Their websites they're both like really upscale hotels. One was on the beach, one wasn't. So that was a little bit of a determining factor. But my last deciding factor was like, let me just look at their Instagram. So I looked in their Instagram, and one did like a tour through a hotel, and it looked like, to be honest, just shot on the phone, but it got like these epic water views, and it just looked like very tropical and beautiful. And then I went on the other one that's not on the ocean, and they didn't have an Instagram, which is surprising for a hotel, to be honest. It really took my decision over the edge. I was like, okay, that's it. I thought I wanted to stay closer to the beach anyways, and look at these, like I'm seeing so much more footage and pictures that aren't on their website. So I'm gonna go ahead and book that hotel. That's great business for them. So at the end of the day, even if you don't get it, you don't think it's important, I'm telling you, focus on your social media branding. Even if you can only post once a week, once every 2 weeks, just make sure it's consistent, make sure it's the highest quality you can do. And the last thing I'll say is Instagram Reels right now are really, the biggest thing. We talk about it all the time. We have a whole course about it. I'll link it below. But social media or Instagram Reels are discoverable outside of your followers. So people who aren't just following you are gonna see those reels, especially if it's a good reel. So again, if you don't have a budget to hire a team, you can go on Instagram, see what your competitors are doing. For instance, if you own a restaurant, again, see what other restaurants in your area are posting. And if they suck, good, make them better. If they're good, great. There you go, you got some inspiration. But take it seriously, because at the end of the day, it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you get more customers, which means more money, which means more fun. And who doesn't want that? All right, talk to you guys soon.